I'm going to be telling you all the things that I wish somebody told me before. And honestly, take what resonates and leave what doesn't, because it's your life. I want you to understand that you are in control of manifesting your ideal timeline. And if you're stuck in this mindset that you can't accomplish or attract what you want, what you desire, you won't. You fucking won't. And with that being said, I'm gonna go off on all the reasons why your discomfort or your lack thereof is enabling you to live in this mindset that you cannot attain what you want in your life. First off, why should you care about my opinion and what I'm doing and why I have anything good to say? And to be honest with you, you don't. Like, you don't have any reason to fucking trust me. But it's up to your discernment. I feel like for me and my channel and my platform, I really want to drive this point home of you being your greatest healer. You're the compass by which you understand what feels right and what resonates in your gut and your body and your microbiome. So if what I say and how I speak resonates with you, then keep listening, keep watching, percolate, let it sit with yourself and take the information as it comes. At the end of the day, it's your life. I love this saying that I read it in a book. Realistically, I saw it on TikTok. Your world is a reflection of your nervous system. I love what I do. I'm a storyteller and I've been traveling nomadically for the last 3 years and I honestly love my life. I live in an intentional mushroom community in Guatemala where I'm essentially living in a place where it's just one massive festival all day, every day. I get to do workshops and dance ecstatically every Sunday and meet beautiful people and experience love in a way that I haven't in a very long time. I have been essentially celibate and single for the last year. More stories to be told another time. I have Substacks where I go into extensive detail about my life. If you care to know, watch my videos, read my Substack, subscribe, whatever. But this is for you. I'm gonna say, welcome to my inner garden. The one thing that everyone tries to manifest is financial abundance. Let's be for real. If you're watching this video, there's a likelihood that you didn't grow up with a lot of money. I've lived a very long time in my life assuming that I need to struggle in order to attain wealth, abundance, security, stability. I've had to work minimum wage jobs. I've had to work minimum wage jobs since I was probably like 13 years old, working in a fast food restaurant. You know, both my parents had to work multiple jobs, 70-hour work weeks in order to keep us afloat as immigrants from the Philippines. What I'm trying to say is you don't want money. You want the things that money brings you. You want what they represent. You want the freedom to travel. You want the food that they can buy you. You want the groceries. Let's be for real. Inflation. You want the freedom of being able to buy things with what money can offer you. So one thing that's really repivoted my ability to manifest money is understanding that I want the feeling, and so I live my life feeling that frequency of what that is. Right now I'm so abundant. I am living in a beautiful place surrounded by nature on a daily basis. I had manifested a incredibly easy email marketing job that took like zero effort, and I was getting paid $2,000 a month. And because it was so easy, I lost the job because they didn't need me anymore. It helped me stay afloat for the time being, but losing that job gave me the momentum to actually pursue something else that's way more in alignment, which is doing this, storytelling. You don't want money. You want the things that money brings you. Anything that you could ever want is a feeling. There's a point to this. What was my point? And everyone says this, you know, you have to be in the frequency that you want to emit, you want to live and feel and breathe the lifestyle that you want in order to actually attract it. It really comes from a place of feeling as if you are already abundant, to allow your external worlds to be a reflection of your inner world. I had a dream a few nights ago, maybe a week ago, where my higher self dead ass just told me, like, everything that you want out of life, all the things that you're manifesting are coming to you. Be patient. And when we doubt that they're coming to us, we convert our energy into a place of scarcity, fear, anxiety, and then we push away that timeline. We fear that we won't get it, and then it gets further away from us because we're living in that frequency, that mindset. The main point that I want to make through this, it's not the fear of failure, it's the fear of the success. We have tied our value and our worth financially to an hourly wage. I remember the first job I ever worked was Harvey's, this fast food restaurant, when I was probably 13 or 14 years old. And I remember my first paycheck after a 2-week period was $250. I spent that on a pair of black Timberlands because I thought they were so aesthetic. Because of that struggle and the feeling of fulfillment I acquired from purchasing those shoes, those boots, it's wired my neural pathways to assume that I need to work that hard in order to achieve what I want out of life. I'm curious if you live with this entire framework of thinking that you need to work so fucking hard hourly to get abundance. I will forever be grateful that I reincarnated with this life with a desire to pursue a career path that is so financially abundant. I'm a videographer, a photographer, an editor, and these things are so valuable in this day and age with most businesses that I can make thousands of dollars. I remember one time couple years ago, I was coming back home to Canada and I needed a gig. I needed some money. So a friend hooked me up with this guy who was running this festival for Pride Week in Toronto, and he asked, well, how much do you charge for one after movie? And I, $2,000? He responded, okay, no problem. And just like that, the easiest fucking video I've ever done earned me the most money I ever have received. And it's also a fact for me, anecdotally, that the cheaper the client, the more demanding they are. This has happened time and time again. Every time I get a client that's probably like a $500 client for one video, they ask for so many revisions. They're very picky. They're this, that, and the other thing, which is fine. We all are. But when you live in that scarcity mindset and you can't afford to get a high ticket thing, because let's be honest, my business is not meant for regular people. I am out here doing business for people that want to accrue more wealth for themselves through their own businesses, through their retreats, through A, B, and C. In that world, in that realm, I am so entitled to charge copious amounts of money because of the value in exchange in return, the investment. Am I bragging? No, I think it's important to have a little bit of ego and confidence in what you do. So fuck it. If you think I'm egoic, then get some ego yourself, baby. Like, you're judging me, I'm judging you. If you're judging me, you're judging yourself. Get some ego, it's fine. We all have one, and to want to kill it is actually ego in and of itself. So even though I know that I have the skills to be able to create a video for a high ticket client, I don't fucking want to, because I know how miserable I feel sitting down and editing or creating a video for some business that I could not give a rat's ass about. I'm just like burning bridges for future possible clients, but honestly, I feel so passionately towards creating content and telling stories and doing this that fuck it, I'm gonna burn those bridges because I'm so passionate about this. Because I'm so comfortable with my life, I never went the extra mile to try to amass business clients, video clients, because all of that work would make me terrified of needing to maintain that level of hard work. That is what the fear of success is. The fear that you need to maintain a lifestyle that you don't want. And this is the problem with entrepreneurship. If you don't love what you do, you're essentially trapping yourself into another 9-to-5 job. And this is the massive difference between doing things that you're genuinely passionate about that doesn't feel like work versus entrepreneurship just to make financial abundance for yourself. So the fear of success for me is rooted in the space of not wanting to maintain a lifestyle that I don't care about. But the thing is, I love this. Right now, me shooting and doing this is hitting this gamma ray, baby, like this headspace and ability, the gamma waves, I believe is what it is, where I feel like I'm in flow, I'm channeling, I am in a state of letting God speak through me. And that is such a beautiful place to be because time flies by effortlessly. 1 hour goes by like a minute. And I think that is the state that we all need to strive towards. Because in my life, I've spent so much time in my 20s thinking about men and boys and relationships and wanting to have babies, and yet feeling further and further away from that possibility and potentiality because I haven't filled my time and space with things that actually give me a sense of joy and freedom and fulfillment. But when I focus on the things that really light me up, I forget about those things, and I'm not pushing that potentiality away because I live in a state of fear and anxiety that I won't attract it. This is the magic, baby. Do what you love. That needs to be the crux and core of your day. Not for an external output, not to amass an audience or for financial abundance, just doing shit that you genuinely love, and that doesn't have to be how you survive. You do not have to make your passion project your way of making money. It could be, but you really have to understand and discern that, because for a lot of people that make their passions their way of earning income, it loses its spark and flavor and passion. It no longer becomes this effortless flow state thing, and it's important to understand percentages. In what parts of your life are you suffering more than you are in joyful awareness and presence? There needs to be a balance on all fronts. I'm just riffing at this point. Next, the power of manifestation comes from consistency in your mindset. I'm still in the middle of manifesting so much more in my life, but I kid you not, everything in my life has been pure manifestation to the 10th degree. All of the beautiful things that I've experienced in my life is because I believed in myself so fucking fully that it would happen for me that I'm just here right now. I'm in Guatemala right now, and even though I manifested that easy as fuck email marketing job where I was making so much money doing the bare fucking minimum, literally checking emails and clicking unsubscribe, ABC, like so easy. But I lost it. Because on one hand, I know that God, she has a plan for me, that something way better is around the corner for me to feel fulfilled in my dharma, to be more free than I had ever been before. What was I going with this point? I forgot. I just believe so sternly that everything that I want in my life will come to fruition, because this is my favorite analogy with manifestation. It is like a package order. You are putting an order online to God and just throwing that manifestation and intention out into the world, and just waiting patiently for the delivery to come. And I'm not stressing about the how or the why. I just know that I'm gonna receive what I want out of my life because it's happened thus far. I'm literally living my dream life right now. And because I'm so comfortable with how much freedom I have on a day-to-day basis, I don't want to falter or change my routine. I have hours throughout my day to do my spiritual practice, to feel my feelings, to listen to music, to journal and write and create the things that elicit so much joy and fulfillment within me. And because I love that so much, I'm not struggling to try to grind because I know that I would be miserable in that state. To a certain extent, I love grinding, but it's balance. I've been manifesting opportunities up the wazoo that have been able to keep me afloat. Like, my bases are covered, but nothing more than that. I have a lot of fucking debt. Like, I'm gonna be so for real with you. I have a lot of debt that I'm currently doing a consumer proposal for to clear, because that was my intention for last year, is to not have any debt anymore, which is also another manifestation story. I really was stressed out about my thousands and thousands of dollars worth of credit card debt and all that jazz, and I remember listening to this affirmation saying, I am so grateful and happy for the complete payment of all financial obligations in God's wonderful way. That night came across a video about this girl who talks about how business owners leverage bankruptcy in order to start over again when it comes to their businesses when they fail. I thought, oh my god, I could do that shit. And I remembered I had sisters and friends who filed for bankruptcy and consumer proposals in Canada. Then I ended up talking to this guy who was like, yeah dude, it's a thing. Instead of paying $700 in interest rates every single month trying to just keep your credits at bay and make the credit card people happy, you can actually submit some sort of application to say, hey, I don't have the financial means to be able to pay all of this off. Can we negotiate something? So now it's still in the works. They'll negotiate. I have a guy who will negotiate something with all my credit cards, all the people I owe money to except for my student loans, to have it be like at least like $300 per month for the next several years, which is way better than like $700-800 to try to keep my credit score afloat when I don't even fucking want to buy anything right now that's worth having a good credit score for. So anyways, it all worked out. I just needed to believe. I think it also goes without saying that I was financially illiterate for a long time in my life because I was raised in a situation of struggle and strife and not having the know-how of how to save or take care of myself or properly invest and create assets and just do the right thing. So I think it's important to give myself grace and not shame myself because I'm feeling and experiencing this level of, oh my god, I did the wrong thing for allowing myself to get this far gone with money. But at the same time, better late than never. I know what I know now, and I think it's important and wise to make these failures and mistakes in order to learn from them. So if you're in debt, babe, no shame. A lot of us are. It's not a big deal. But this year, like, I'm actively working towards that because manifestation is believing in yourself, having the self-concept and belief that it can happen and it will happen for you, but also taking the appropriate steps and action towards achieving it. Because I have figured it out so many times before, I know that God will figure it out for me again and again and again. My entire life is a testament to my unwavering faith and trust in my intuition, that every desire that I have will come true. With love, with family, with freedom, with financial abundance, because I believe in myself so fucking much. And I'm realistic. I don't think I'm gonna make $1 million in a week because I don't need $1 million. More money, more problems. But what I do need is the money to clear all my debts, the feeling of stability and safety with financial freedom, and the ability to travel wherever the fuck I want without having to even think about it. Just pressing a button, boom, I'm there. I'm gonna say it again. You probably haven't manifested your dream life because you're too fucking comfortable with the ease in your life. A lot of us don't want to put in the extra hour or 5 per day to pursue what they actually love. But when you start doing it, you realize it's actually really easy and simple and lovely to be putting in that work. Sometimes we're so afraid of our ideal lifestyle because we don't want to have to put in more work than we have to. We're just too fucking lazy sometimes, and that's okay. I also don't want you to feel ashamed for your life. It's your life. You have the full autonomy and sovereignty to do whatever you want with it. But what I want to ask you is, how much of it is fulfilling for you? Do you go to bed at night feeling fulfilled from what you've accomplished? I'm a Capricorn. That's such a vital feeling and emotion for me. And some people don't. Some people don't need to feel that at the end of the day. They feel fulfilled just by being around the people they love. And I think that's an important and vital part of life. But I also think that progress is the backbone of what makes life so juicy, is this acknowledgement that you're striving towards your goals and things that actually fulfill you. My next question, do you trust in your life, in yourself, in your intuition? Do you trust that everything in your life is happening for you? That you are in the highest timeline? That every rejection is just a redirection to higher blessings? That stuff, you know? Because if you live in this spiteful headspace that everything in your life is out to get you, God is trying to spite you, then God will spite you. Your world is such a reflection of your inner world, your inner garden, and what you feed. Now, I love this analogy. This woman over here, she made a video and I really loved it. And she used this analogy of like beans or something in a fucking bucket. And I'm gonna do my own little spin on it. Basically, every thought pattern and neural pathway we have is like a piggy bank or an investment into a specific thing, you know? Oh my God, I'm gonna record this so it stops doing that. Basically, every little thing and feeling and thought we have is like a dollar, a coin. I'm Canadian, so we have loonies. Each of these loonies or toonies is essentially rolling down a little track into a piggy bank, which solidifies a certain thought pattern, neural pathway, or belief system. So if I'm constantly in this headspace of comparing myself to other women or feeling like I'm not beautiful, every time I have a thought, a coin that rolls down and sees other beautiful women being beautiful and other men giving them attention, daddy issues, emotional neglect, this is what's talking here, that belief system gets solidified. That piggy bank gets heavier because I allowed that thought to roll down the track and to be fed and invested in that specific piggy bank, that I am unattractive, unlovable, need to be a certain way in order to receive love and value, that my value is inherently tied to how beautiful I am, to appearances, and to what I can bring into the world. And so every time that dollar rolls into that piggy bank, I'm just affirming that belief over and over and over again. Me, as a 28-year-old woman, every time I think something, I'm investing into that thought. If I don't divert that coin, if I don't actively gain the awareness to understand that I don't want to think that anymore. So if I look at another woman and that dollar wants to roll immediately into the thought of, oh, she's better than you and you're unlovable and somebody else will want her over you, I can look at that thought and say, oh, stop it in its tracks and say, how beautiful is she? What a gorgeous woman. I wonder what she's like, what makes her laugh. I want to get to actually know who she is, as opposed to the image I have of her. And more with time, you divert those coins and you invest into a different piggy bank that becomes your mindset, the neural pathway that I continue to hardwire. Neurons that fire together, wire together. It's just recurring repetition in order to actually solidify those belief systems. With that being said, what is familiar to you is not necessarily comfortable. It is comfortable to you because it is familiar. So if I live my entire life with a dysregulated nervous system, being in emotionally neglectful relationships, finding partners that are emotionally unavailable to me, mimicking my own father's stoicism and inability to really hold me emotionally, I'm going to actively seek that out in my relationships now because it's familiar. If I didn't work on this pattern, then a safe, consistent man will not elicit excitement or passion within me for me to say I'm not attracted to him. If I allowed myself to not explore and express and experience this discomfort of being in a stable relationship, I would have never been in one, because I understand that this is a pattern brought on from my childhood, that because it's been so familiar for me to assume that men withhold their love and show it in quick spurts, and that's passion and love, because I no longer subscribe to that ideology, I'm so much more forthcoming and able to be attracted and passionate about men who really see me and understand me, because I've caught that pattern. And sometimes it just takes time and the ability to witness yourself and knowing actively that it doesn't have to feel like drugs every single time, that love can build and grow and blossom with time, that passion has so many different faces, and it's a matter of just continually exploring, expressing, and experiencing life in order to actually see that. So again, is it passion or is it emotional dysregulation? That's what I want to know, because a lot of y'all are out here entering relationships with somebody because they trigger your fight or flight, when really you want someone that regulates your nervous system, someone who understands you, your best friend that you could fuck. Let's be for real. That's what you want. And passion and love can grow. And attraction is vitally important for sure, physically and emotionally, but sometimes we just get in our own way of feeling like the familiar toxic relationships we have are what passion is, but that's not true. We're gonna lend that to abundance and manifesting financial security and freedom for yourself. If you spent your entire life assuming that you need to struggle in order to be financially abundant, you're going to struggle in order to be financially abundant. Letting go of that mindset means understanding that you have inherent value and worth outside of your external output. This is constantly a recurring theme that I need, and it happens on a daily where I'm able to come back into self-love when I love the people around me, when I can come from a place of unconditional love and not needing anybody else to show up a certain way in order for me to love them. Truly, when we are able to reflect grace and kindness into the world, that is when the world reflects it straight back to you. So I no longer feel like I need to struggle. Honestly, that $2,000 gig really shifted my ability to understand that I can make a lot of fucking money doing very little. And God wants that for you. The universe wants you to be happy and fulfilled and to experience the juiciness of life. But we're so addicted to these feelings of scarcity and struggle. We're so addicted to negative feelings that it's so hard for us to escape them. And this is why meditation and having a spiritual practice is so important. It's building the awareness to realize this is just patterns repeating themselves. Now, finally, I just watched a video recently about quantum entanglement. Essentially talking about how two particles could be in completely separate spaces and yet still impact one another. This happens pretty frequently when you think about someone you love and they text you. This is a very scientific thing. It's a real thing. Look it up. And honestly, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Put it in the comments down below. I am not saying everything that I say is fact. These are my opinions and reflections of the world. If you have anything that's against them or want to correct them, please, I implore you, put them in the comments down below. Call me the fuck out. I love that shit. We all need to be more discerning about the things that we consume. And I really encourage you all to question everything. So, the importance of self-concept with manifestation. Again, if you cannot actually believe that you will manifest $1 million next week, you will not, because you just don't feel like it's in resonance with you. You don't believe that you can do it, so obviously it's not going to happen for you. But if you believe that you can manifest $1,000 next week, be in that frequency, way more accessible. So quantum entanglement, this idea of two particles being in completely different spaces, one in India, maybe one in fucking United States of America, two different places, and yet one can affect the other if they've created a bond. This is seen in, if you got a bunch of metronomes that are side by side, eventually, even if they're all swinging in different patterns, eventually they'll all swing in sync. And this is where I think self-protection is so vitally important. We are surrounded by other people's anxieties, their thoughts, their pressures, the things that they're afraid of, their scarcity mindset, everything on a daily basis. And it's so easy to absorb that energy. We are so easily influenced by our external output, the things that we consume, that of course we haven't been able to attract it if we're constantly around other people that are bringing us down or in their own vibration of scarcity. This is why you are a reflection of your surroundings. You are the sum of the closest people that you surround yourself with. This is why a majority of the time that you can actually increase your net worth if you're surrounded by people who make way more money than you do. It's just so apparent. When is a door not a door? When it's a jar. What I'm trying to say is you need to learn how to protect yourself. You need to learn how to be so discerning and so passionate and in such deep self-belief that you will receive all the things that you want in your life in order to step closer and closer towards it. Now this is gonna be a little bit woo-woo, but I was in my spiritual practice a couple weeks ago and I saw like the quantum field. It was this crazy space, and I saw that we have an infinite number of timelines that we can walk towards. Different alternate universe versions of ourselves that have attracted and amassed a certain success in each specific thing. You could be an astrophysicist, a teacher, a lover, a housewife, a house husband, whatever the fuck. But what dictates our ability to walk towards that goal is the decisions we make today. The steps that we take right now. And I know for myself that I want this content life, this storytelling life so fucking bad that me making this video alone is me walking towards that every single fucking day. There's a balance between manifesting what you want in life and taking active steps towards it. You can meet the love of your life and the timing can be off, but now do you want to be with them? Because sometimes timing isn't right, and other times you have the power to supersede fate. You have the option to change your fucking fate. So, in conclusion, I no longer subscribe to the belief system that you have to struggle in order to be abundant. I threw $1 out into the street a couple months ago just for the fun of it, because I really do believe in the cycle of abundance, that the more you give, the more you receive. And maybe a week ago I got like 100 fucking Q that I found on the bench. Excuse me, it's just this energetic law of balance. And I think that the mindset alone is the energetic balance. The energy that you emit to the world gets reflected back to you. You literally create your reality through every thought you make. I believe in myself so much now that I just know that I'm going to be taken care of. And I don't know what and how it's going to come to be. I just know that it's going to happen. So, in conclusion, I genuinely believe we haven't manifested our dream life because we're too comfortable with our circumstances. We're too comfortable of knowing and feeling like we're in control of our day-to-day routines, that we do not want to alter our reality or shift into a space of discomfort, of not knowing what the future will hold, of not wanting to be in that void space, believing that we're gonna falter and fail and die. Everything that we're afraid of is essentially rooted in this fear of dying. But when you've experienced the fire, nothing can really burn you. Failure is inevitable in life, and even if you fuck up severely, you're gonna figure it out. There is always a way. There is always a way through and out of your circumstances. Always, always, always. It's just a matter of time. And so if you really truly want to manifest your dream life, you have to acknowledge that it can be really fucking fun to work hard. That you can live a life that feels really good for you, but you have to be okay with not knowing how. You have to sit with the discomfort of uncertainty. You have to recognize that real joy, fulfillment, and exploration comes from the mystery of not knowing. Okay, I hope that made sense to you. I'm Mama G. I make videos when I want to. I'm trying to make it more of a weekly thing. Shift my mindset into thinking that I need to have a bunch of likes and subscribers to know that I'm making an impact on people. But the comments that I get from you guys alone fulfill me so much. So I just want you to know that I love you. Thank you for being here. If you do want to support me though, you can read my Substack as a paid subscriber to my Substack. Beyond that, I love you. And if we ever run into each other in real life, come say hi. Because if my videos resonate, then we can hang. Like, we totally can hang. Like, this is why I'm doing this, is to create a community of people that I resonate with, because I'm saying this for me and it feels really good. Comment, like, subscribe, do all that shit, and let me know if I should do more of these videos, because this was really fun. Okay, bye.
Love you.